few weeks ago, I did a tutorial on making these face masks, and they have pleats in them, which I absolutely struggled with. But thankfully, somebody let me know that because I thread the elastic through the ends and I don't sew it into there, that it will already create this gathered end. I don't have to put the pleats in. So I thought I would give it a try. So here's the face mask without any pleats. And here's the elastic threaded through the ends. And sure enough, when you pull on that elastic to put it over your ears, it gathers it at the ends, just like that. So I am going to put this on and show you what it looks like on, and I'm also going to show you what it looks like if you used a headband to attach it to instead of putting it over your ears. And I have a video on variations so that you don't have to put it over your ears. So I'm going to put a link below in the description box where you can find that video. To make these face masks, you're going to need to cut 2 pieces of fabric to 6 inches by 10 inches. And I actually created a little template just on a piece of cardboard. So it makes it really easy. I just line it up and then cut around it. And so once you cut your 2 pieces of fabric, and they can be 2 pieces that are of the same fabric if you'd like. I'm using a different one because on the inside I'm using flannel because it's soft to go up against your face. And what you're going to do is you are going to put them right sides together. So this is the wrong side, this is the right side. Okay, this is what you want on the outside when you're done. So put the right sides together. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go sew around the edges, and I use about 1/4 of an inch seam on this. Make sure you have them lined up nicely and leave about a 3-inch opening. So start here and then you can sew all the way around and come back and stop about right here, leaving space to turn it right side out. Okay, keep in mind that I am a beginner when it comes to sewing, so it isn't exactly perfect on the inside here. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to go around to each of the corners, and we're just going to clip it at an angle, just like that. You don't want to get, too close to the stitching there. But we're just trying to get rid of a little bit of the bulk so that when we turn this right side out, it will be easier to do the corners. And holy cow, I can hear the wind out there. Not sure if you guys can hear it. Okay, so here's that little space that we left open, and we're just going to reach in just like that, turn it right side out. We're going to do this all the way around, and then I'm going to show you how to get the corners looking good. So let's just get this all turned right side out first. Okay, there we go. Now you're going to need something like one of these items, okay? Like I have a bone folder because I'm a crafter. Here's a chopstick, a crochet hook, or a pin with the point inside, okay? And what you're going to do is stick it in and go up to each of these corners, and you are just going to straighten out the corners so that they look nice and pointed the best you can get them. To be honest with you, the way that this works, no one is going to see those corners because they are going to be on the face side of the mask, so they won't be showing on the outside, where everybody's going to see it. But basically, you're going to go around these edges, and honestly, I prefer my bone folder for this. Sorry, it's just easier for me to go in and straighten things out. So once you get all the corners all done looking nice, you are going to take this, and where that opening is, those pieces will fold in nicely to match up with where the seams have been. Those are going to fold in just like that, and you can go iron that flat, and then you can go stitch it with your sewing machine right along there, or you can use something like heat and bond or a fabric glue. Now, if you use fabric glue, you're going to have to wait about 24 hours for it to dry. Heat and bond is something that you iron on right in between there, a little piece of tape that you put in there. But basically, it's going to look like this, whether you sew it or whether you use heat and bond. And then once you do that, you can go iron this out nice and flat, and you are going to go sew around the edges again just to give it a nice finished look. And so again, basically that 1/4 of an inch, and just go all the way around. And be sure on all of your sewing, even the sewing you've already done, be sure that when you start and finish, that you backstitch to keep it strong. So I'm going to go sew all the way around these edges, and I will be right back with the next step. Okay, I've got that done, and let me see if you can see. Oops, had a piece of thread there. But it just gives it a nice finished look, having that stitching around the edge. And now for the last bit of sewing you're going to do, you're going to turn this over so that this is the side that faces the face. And you're going to turn the ends over about 3/4 of an inch, each of them. And you are going to sew right along that same stitched line that you see right there. And that is going to leave a little tunnel opening for the elastic to go through. So I'm going to go sew those up, and I'm going to come back and we'll put the elastic through, and you'll see that this is truly the easiest face mask to make. Okay, I've got it done, and as you can see, this side 3/4 of an inch, this side 1 inch. It really doesn't matter. Even if you get both sides 1 inch, it will still work. And like I said, I am a beginner, and I'm just trying to show you how easy this is to do, and little things like that are not going to make a difference. This is the side that's going to be seen. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm using round elastic and not flat elastic. You could also use flat elastic if you want, but this is 2mm, and the average size is about 12 inches. It will depend on, if it's a man, for a man's face or a woman's face or a child's face. And you can always adjust that. In fact, once you tie it, if you're really good, you can get it untied again if you need to. So we have 12 inches for each side, and I'm using a paper clip, but you can use a safety pin or whatever you want, and you just slide this in and tie it, and it's going to be your guide. And that's another thing I like about not pleating, is that before, whatever I was sliding through would get stuck in the pleats and make it very difficult. So this way there's nothing to get in the way of sliding my paper clip through, or your safety pin, or whatever you're using to get the elastic through. And then all you do is, well, first you untie it, and then all you do is you tie it together. So you go around once, just like you're tying something, and then you go back around again. So it's like tying a knot, which is exactly what you're doing. Okay, just like this. And then you just pull it like that, and then pull it tight the other way. And if you're not sure, like, oh, which way did she pull those? You know what? Pull it both ways. You can twist it that way and pull, and then let it go the other way and pull. And that way you're sure that you have it nice and secure. And like I said, if you find out that it's too long or too short, you can untie that. It just takes a little bit of work. And now you don't want this part around your ears, because that's not going to be comfortable at all. So what we're going to do is, doesn't matter which end you pull it back through, but we're going to just tuck that little end in there, just like so. Just tuck it all the way in, and we can pull this back out the other direction. And that way that little knot is inside, where it won't be bugging you around your ears. And then when you pull on it to put it around your ears, it's going to gather it, just like I showed you before. So all I have to do is put this one in, and it'll be done. So there it is. Whether you are a beginner or an advanced seamstress, this is the easiest face mask to wear and the most adjustable, since you can untie the elastic and make it smaller or larger depending on your needs. And that isn't something you can do if they are sewed in on the corners. So I hope this was helpful for you, and let me know down in the comments what you think. And thank you so much for stopping by.